Living out in the country sure has its benefits. Fresh air, wide open spaces. Pretty cool, right? There are a few disadvantages, such as cell phone reception. Many times I have 3G, I'm in Rome, I never have LTE, or if I do, it's lying to me. I know it because I still don't have speed. So this review is brought out of necessity, right? We're going to be looking at a product from WeBoost, and it's the Home Cell Signal Booster. They're telling me if I install an antenna outside the house, I run a coaxial through the house, I put an antenna inside the house, that my signal will be boosted. I'm hoping to at least get a strong 3G, maybe an LTE signal. That's what we're going to look at today. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. My channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer gadgets, other household items. Once in a while I do a little bit of DIY like this, just because I think it's a lot of fun. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. Now, let's see what this Home Cell Signal Booster from WeBoost is all about. All right, so let's unbox our WeBoost Home Cell Signal Booster that was purchased for about $400 from Amazon. That's a lot of money, but I will leave a link in the description if you're interested in this. All right, so let's turn this box around. Here we go. Opening it up. Let's see. There we go. Well, first things first, I have some directions, which I will look at later. I have what looks to be, well, it tells me it's an outside antenna. I have an inside antenna. I have the WeBoost booster. That's also inside. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, cool. I've got a power supply. I have, what else? Mounting hardware. You know what, under here, these circles, this must be my wires. There they are, about 30 foot of cabling there. This is kind of a cool little feature. I have a coaxial connection on both ends, and this is flat, so you can actually put this in a window and close the window if you don't want to drill any holes through a wall or anything. That's pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and install this to see if the cell signal is boosted in the house. Step 1 for the installation is to connect the antenna to the booster. So it's real simple, right? So there's just this small, tiny coaxial down here, and you are to just screw this in by hand. The directions say do not use any kind of tools. This is just a hand tighten only. So that's the first step. Now I left this tied together here. When you actually have it installed and you're using it, this and this are supposed to be at least 18 inches apart, but just for now I've left this together until I'm ready. And you are not supposed to plug it in the booster unit until the coaxials ran and your antenna is hung and you're ready to go. The second step is actually installing the outside antenna and the mounting bracket. I'm actually not going to do that one just yet. I'm going to run the coaxial first through the house. Now the directions do say you're supposed to have a minimum of 50 feet from the outside antenna from the inside antenna. I will say the directions said I was supposed to have a coaxial connector to connect the two pieces, but I don't have it. I've looked in all the bags. There's no spaces. So I'm going to end up using this piece that you're supposed to be able to run through the window. Like, remember that? If you had a window and you didn't want to drill holes through your house, you can just put this in your window. So I'm going to use that to connect the two pieces and go run it from my living room out the garage. I'm not going to show you that process because I'm not doing anything fancy, to be honest with you. I'm going to drill a hole through the floor and drill a hole out the wall, and that's about it, and I'll tighten up the wires later to make them look nice. But right now I'm going to go run the coaxial, and then I'm going to hang up the outside antenna. So as I was doing steps 1, step 3, step 2, I went and ended up installing the outside antenna, and I forgot to show it to you. So I am going to link a picture right here so you can see what it looks like outside. Now I will walk you through what I did via video, but I didn't want to take it down because it took me a long time to put it up there. I did have to rig things a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean right now. I ended up doing something a little different with the installation. So you can see here where I drilled a a hole through the wall, ran this coaxial down, connected it here. This bracket, I actually, when I hooked to the wall, I found the 2 screw holes that filled and fit, and I bent it in so it would angle that way. If you use the app that they tell you to use, it tells you where exactly your signal is, and you can see where my antenna here is. It's facing exactly where that is telling me I should go. So, I would love to hear your thoughts of these cell phone signal boosters. What do you think of them? Is this something we need, we don't need? Let me know down in the comment section below. Have you used one? I would love to hear from you. I wanted to show you that I just took off a piece of the molding down here, drilled a hole up from the basement. I ran my wire up. So now that my WeBoost interior booster's here, and you're supposed to keep the antenna 18 inches away. Right now I don't have a shelf set up, but this is the room I wanted it in. So here we're all set up. We are now connected to the outside antenna that we just showed you. I want you to see the download speed that I have currently. I'm going to run this test and I'll show it to you and you tell me what you think. But right here, it says I'm in 3G, and as I zoomed in, it got really, really poorly focused. Let's do a speed test here to see what kind of speed I'm bringing in. If it's even able to run. Most time I try to run this, it doesn't even work. Error, network failed. See? So, now that we tested it without the antenna, I'm going to plug the antenna in officially, power it all up, and we're going to run a speed test again to see if there's a difference. All right, here I am, same location, but I don't know if you can see this now. It says full LTE, right? Now, let's hit go to see what happens with our speed test this time. Remember, last time I did the test, it wouldn't even run. Now, I know this is not really high-speed internet for most of you internet users out there. When you're used to having 0, this is a whole lot better just by installing the WeBoost signal booster. Pretty cool. So today, we were looking at WeBoost's home cell signal booster. Now, this says it's for like a 1 room, but it also says for up to 1,500 square feet, which is definitely bigger than a room, at least in my house. This is the middle of the road type of a product like this. It was about $400, which I know is expensive, but they go all the way up to $1,000 to like 5,000 square feet. And then they're also down in the few $100 range. This is an upgraded model of this one. I did see you can get the same version, but like 2 years behind for $100 less. And I don't know what the difference is. I just happened to get this one. Realistically, I didn't see the other one the first one I ordered on Amazon. It was too late when I saw it. So the whole concept is there's an outside antenna connected to a coaxial, and there's an inside antenna that boosts your cell signal. And my thought is, does this kind of thing work? Well, you saw it. I had very little to no reception without it, and I had pretty good reception with it. Make cell phones, download apps, and even though it's not a typical download speed that you would find in the city, it was really good for where I am. Going from 0 to 9, I've even hit it a few times up to 15, which I thought, what? I can stream videos with that. Anyway, so what I would want to say one last thing is when you have your antenna outside, you need to make sure the back of the antenna is to the interior antenna. You should not have the 2 antennas facing. Evidently, it causes some sort of confusion in the line, so just be careful of that. I am going to link down in the description, if you end up getting one of these, what the different lights mean. All green is good. If it's red, it means there's something wrong with the cell tower. If it's orange, it means it's weak at the cell tower, that kind of thing. So I'm going to let you know in the description about all those in case you want to have a point of reference. Anyway, this was Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. For me, 2 thumbs up on this product. If I were to recommend to buy or deny, if there's something that's in your price point and something that you can afford and you need it, I think absolutely. I actually know people that live in the city. They have brick walls on the inside of their house, no service in their house, outside amazing service. Do something like this, and you can use one of those coaxials that wrap through the window. No holes needed. Pretty impressive. This was Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Hey, Thanks for sticking around for my entire review of the WeBoost Home Cell Signal Booster. I really appreciate it. Not that long ago, I did this review of this weird stuff, right? It's called Dust Cleaning Mud. It was an as seen on Facebook product. It's like a slime goo that you get into all the nooks and crannies and clean things up. Anyway, I'm going to link that video right up here, and I would love it if you went and clicked on it. I'll meet you over there. So go ahead, click this link right here. It's safe, I promise.